With so many external mixer options, it's super easy to get lost in the sauce. Are you okay with a basic analog mixer, or should you splurge for that digital unit? Today, I'm gonna go over all the differences between an analog external mixer and a digital external mixer, and at the end, I'll give you my honest review and opinion on what I think you should buy. Let's get into it. Like I said, when it comes to mixers, there are a lot of options out there. Analog mixers are tried and true, but digital mixers give you flexibility and access to things that an analog mixer just can't do. Bars. So I'm gonna go over the features of both analog and digital mixers, the two that I own, and give you my honest opinion and feedback on what you should invest your hard-earned cheddar into. In front of me, we have the Mackie ProFX 10 V3. Now, in my honest opinion, this is one of the best budget analog mixers that you can invest your hard-earned cheddar into. You get 4 microphone channels, 2 have a dual XLR 1/4 inch input. You also get built-in compressors on the first 2 mic channels, which is really awesome. You also have 3 line-in channels with 1/4 inch inputs and a 3.5 millimeter input that can also double as a USB input, which is really cool. Each channel on the mixer has independent EQs. And then the outputs are really awesome. So what you get are 2 XLR main outs, 1/4 inch main outs that run at a -5 decibel, along with a control room out. The control room out also has independent volume control. So if you're using like a wireless remote speaker, or you want an output for a videographer so they can get crystal clean audio for toasts or whatever they need it for, you have the option with a control room with an independent volume. Each input also has the ability to pan left or right, the ability to add effects to the inputs. So at the end of the day, this mixer is plenty capable, and it's not that expensive. So the ProFX 10 V3 comes in at a very modest $269.99. Now, Mackie did release a V3 Plus that also includes Bluetooth. But if anybody knows me, you know how I feel about Bluetooth. So to me, investing the extra money into the V3 Plus just isn't worth it. Plus, both of them come with USBs that you can use as an input or an output. So if you're looking to do live video streaming on Twitch, this is an ideal mixer to use because it has that USB out. This is a very basic mixer, but it's built well, it's got plenty of features, and it works really, really well. Now, do you need all the fancy things that a digital mixer includes, or are you good with this analog unit? Well, let's take a look at my Touchmix and find out. In front of us, we have a QSC Touchmix 8. Now, this bad boy comes in at a whopping $1149.99. So it's a bit expensive and a lot more money than the Mackie ProFX 10. However, you get a metric shit ton of extra features that make spending that extra money well worth it. For inputs, you get 4 XLR 1/4 inch combo jacks, as well as 4 regular XLR jacks and 2 1/4 inch inputs. As far as outputs go, you get a main left and right out, as well as 4 auxiliary channels. Inputs 1 and 2 have the high Z option to use instruments, and every single input on this mixer has 48 volt power, just in case you wanted to use a condenser mic. Plus, every single channel gets an independent EQ, compressor, gate, a whole bunch of really nifty features. Every channel could be sent to an auxiliary channel. There is so many things that this mixer can do. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Getting back to the auxiliary outputs, this unit has the capability to send any signal to any auxiliary port for whatever reason. So if you have a videographer that just needs microphones for toasts, you can set auxiliary 1 to just send a mic signal for toasts. If you need music for a remote wireless speaker, you can set an auxiliary channel to just send music from your mixer to the remote wireless speaker. This has plenty of flexibility to do whatever you need it to do. Let's say you wanted to actively cross over your subwoofers and your tops. Well, that's simple. You put your subwoofers on your auxiliary out, and then you can go to the mixer output of the auxiliary and adjust the EQ to just send those low frequencies to your subwoofers. Then you connect your tops to your main outs, And then you have the ability to cross over your main out to the top so that you're sending the exact signals that you want to each speaker. That's the kind of customization and control you get with a digital mixer that you just can't get with an analog mixer. Let's say you have a really big room and you have multiple sets of speakers. Remember my video about DSP? Oh, you don't? Well, it's right here. Anyway, each auxiliary output has the option to run time delay. So if you needed to put speakers in front of other speakers, you can time delay them appropriately so that you have good sound. The main output on this unit has a basic EQ as well as an expanded EQ if you really want to dial in certain frequencies. There are also pre-programmed EQs for K-Series, KW series. Any QSC speaker comes preloaded in this unit. So if you're not too sure how to cross over your QSCs, all you have to do is select the proper speaker in the mixer and it sends the correct frequencies and even tells you how to adjust your gain to get the best sound out of this mixer. Or if you're feeling froggy and you want to set up your non-QSC speakers and profile them so that the EQ is crossed over where it needs to be for those speakers, you can also save that in this unit and recall it whenever you're using that set of speakers. So you can take the time, really dial in your equipment, save the preset, and then when you go out, if you have two different sets of speakers, you just pick which speaker you're using that day and it'll automatically load those presets for you. You can also EQ venues with this. Not every venue is built the same. Some rooms are boomier, some rooms are just terrible for sound. You can adjust on a case-by-case basis, save those adjustments and recall them whenever you're back at that venue. This is something that I absolutely love about this mixer, is the fact that you can save presets and recall them for all types of different use scenarios. One of my favorite features about this mixer is it comes with a built-in RTA. Now, don't ask me what RTA stands for because I don't know, but I do know what it does. So what an RTA does is it takes your input signal and it visualizes it for you on the screen so you can see exactly what frequencies you're sending to this mixer. That way you can either compensate for it on the mixer side or at the source, but you can visually see the sound that you're sending into this unit to give you a better perspective on how you need to EQ your speakers or adjust the sound coming from your source so that it sounds really good. Now, my favorite feature of this digital mixer is the anti-feedback feature. So what this does is on the main output, you can set it for anti-feedback for your microphone. The way it works is you put your microphone where you would normally position yourself for whatever you're doing, whether it's introductions or toasts, whatever the case may be, and you crank the volume up. The mixer will actually increase the volume until your microphone feeds back, and then it'll find that frequency and pull that frequency back until the feedback stops. And it does this for everything from low frequencies to high frequencies, which is really awesome because one of the things it allows you to do is get more headroom on your microphone. It'll ring out at a really high volume, a volume that you probably won't reach. That way, if somebody's giving a toast and they're too low, you can confidently turn the volume up without worrying about that stupid feedback. This alone, in my opinion, is worth the $1,149 that this mixer costs. And the last really cool feature of this mixer that I want to touch on is the fact that it has remote control. Yes, you heard that right. You can stuff this mixer in a rack and throw it somewhere behind you and never look at it. There is an app for your iPad that you can connect wirelessly to this mixer and control it from your iPad. So you don't even have to physically touch this thing. You can just use your iPad to literally do everything that you could do on this mixer on the iPad. You have complete and total remote control over this unit. For me, it's huge. My sound rack sits behind me in my facade. I use DJ furniture and it's not always easy to adjust volumes on the mixer because somebody used to have to run behind my setup to adjust the mixer. Now, it's on an iPad. You need to turn the volume up for toast? Turn it up. You need to lower your music or whatever you need to do. You can remotely control this digital mixer, and I think that's one of the coolest features about it, is that you don't even have to physically touch this thing. All you have to do is turn it on, connect to its network, load up the app, and you can have full control over your mixer with an application on your iPad. So, Seth, at the end of the day, which one of these two mixers should I buy? I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't care. I don't care which one you choose. You should just be using an external mixer at every event, whether it's the reception, whether it's the ceremony, I don't care. You should be using an external mixer. What option you choose to buy is completely up to you, and of course, your budget. Now, honestly, I can tell you I've used both of these mixers for years. I had my Mackie for about 6 years, and I'm going on year 2 with my QSC Touchmix. And I can tell you I love them both equally. The Mackie is simpler. It's an analog mixer. It doesn't have a tough learning curve. It's really easy to get into and just use. The Touchmix is also a really great mixer. The only downside is it costs a lot of money and there's a bit of a learning curve. But once you learn how to use it, I mean, you'll never go back to an analog mixer. But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make is you should be using an external mixer no matter what. What you choose is up to you and your budget. I'm not gonna lie. If you have the cheddar to swing on a digital mixer, I say go for it. If you made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you found anything useful in this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, check out my channel. I have a bunch of videos talking about the tech that we use as DJs, with a lot more coming down the pipeline. My name is Seth, aka DJ Seth V, and thank you for watching. We out!